What's up, world? It's your girl Lay with Lay and Dev TV, and we are here with our first reaction video. We are reacting to the Michelle Blair case. She unalived two of her children and abused one, but she does have her own view of how things went down. So let's go ahead and get into this video and see what this crazy lady is talking about.
Plead guilty to two of the counts that are identified in the information, since much of
I'm gonna go ahead and
today's
close
proceeding
this
will
out
be
so we can just
a
get right
dialogue
to
between me and you.
To criminal responsibility examination and
To these two counts and subjecting yourself to those sentences.
Yes.
Is that correct? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Blair. I'm going to go over each of the rights. I see that you've signed the settlement offer notice acceptance. So just bear with me. I'm going to read all
We're
these
not
and
gonna
then
sit here
ask
for
you
her
if you
rights,
read
y'all. We're
them
gonna go
under-
ahead and get into
And you also understand
what
that if you're
she's talking about.
She raped my son.
Okay, here we go.
You also understand that if your plea is accepted, any appeal from your conviction and sentence pursuant to this plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so if you were convicted by a jury, you would have an automatic right to appeal, but if you enter a plea, you have to convince the Court of Appeals that they have to hear your case. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, fair enough. Now, Ms. Blair, I want to be absolutely clear. Has anyone forced you or threatened you to get you to enter a guilty plea today?
No.
This is your own choice.
Yes.
And you've made this after discussions with your attorney, Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Harris, so the record's clear. Do you have any sort of record of how many times you've discussed entering this plea with your client?
At least 3 times, Your Honor.
Not even gonna hold y'all. Hold on one second.
After Maddie told me,
All right, has Mr. Harris discussed with you that you will need
her, on many occasions, my son, I told him to tell me every single thing she did to him. So as she was telling me, he was telling me more and more things that she did.
Okay, so what's going on is when the person that she's referring to as she is her daughter, Stony. Maddie is her youngest baby. Now she's accusing her daughter of raping her youngest son, her brother, basically. She's accusing her daughter of raping her little brother. That's what's going on here. Now listen to this explicit, crazy story that's about to come out of her mouth. It's crazy.
I assaulted her every time he told me what she did to him. By assault, I mean I punched her. I have put a bag over her head till she lost consciousness. I threw hot water on her, scalding hot water from the faucet.
Now, just think about that. She just told y'all what she was doing to her daughter because she found out that her daughter was raping her son. I don't wish that upon nobody. I know a lot of y'all stand on the manifestation thing or whatever, but just imagine, like, even if that was the case, you found out your kids was doing stuff behind your back that shouldn't have been going on. These are your kids. They're your kids. She's sitting up here talking to for example, when I first heard this story, I thought she was talking about killing somebody else that she did not know for raping her son. Like, that would have made more sense to me. But she's talking about her daughter, her young daughter at that, raping her little son, and she's doing all of this crazy stuff to her.
Did you hit her in the head with a wooden
Yes,
stick?
I hit her on her head multiple times, over and over.
Was that shortly before she died?
That was actually days before she died and the day she died.
Okay.
I hit on her back. It's like with her tailbone.
This video is for entertainment purposes only. That is for YouTube copyrights.
I kicked her.
Okay, I just want to clarify a few things. And perhaps you don't know, but did this happen on or about May 25th, 2014? To the best
May
of your
May
recollection?
25th is actually the day she died. Well, the day I killed her.
And you said you killed her by putting a grocery bag over her head?
Yes, that day, Maddie would tell me different things because she was doing this to him for years, and I did not know that. You get what I'm saying? And I didn't find out till 9 months later. She had started with Steven. She ruined my son, okay? She started with
Steven is her other son. Now remember, I told you at the beginning of the video, she unalived 2 of her children. And that would be Stony, who is the oldest, and that is her daughter, and Steven, and who is his second oldest, which is her son. And Maddie is the youngest one. So I'm assuming he's still alive, but he was still abused, malnourished. But we're going to find out some more. Let's get back into this video.
Steven before he even started. So, yes, I put a bag over her head, but it got worse that day. Yes, I did. It got worse that day because Matthew would tell me how she would take her pad, her menstrual pad, and squeeze her blood out in his mouth. Okay.
I don't care how many times I hear that part. That part, it sounds brand new every time I hear it. She is crazy. She is just nut loose. Ain't got no marbles. She's not there. There's no one there. You talking about this baby girl. I think she may be like 9. I'm not, maybe 10, 11. I think she's 13. Just look into this case. She's young. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't, have that going on. But what I'm saying is, you meaning to tell me that this baby, who is more than likely that is brand new to her, is messing with her own bodily fluids and squeezing them into her brother? Her brother's mouth. At that. No, you're crazy. You're crazy. You doing them drugs. You need to leave them drugs alone.
And it was over with after that. It was
Second.
over with.
You meant to kill her?
I definitely meant to kill her.
Okay. It wasn't an accident?
No, not at all. If I had a chance to do it again, I would.
When you went and got the groceries?
Blows me. It's crazy. Because you standing in this courtroom, looking the way you looking, acting the way you acting, talking the way you talking. It's just, you premeditated this whole thing, this whole conversation. It's not hard for anybody to see. Like, it's not hard. We could tell. And I hope they hang you. I think they did. And they should have.
Grocery bag and suffocated her. That was your intent?
Yes. She was standing in the bathtub. I was throwing hot water on her. My son was standing to my right outside the bathroom door, and he was telling me everything he was telling me. I looked at her, and I'm like, "You did this?" And she was like, "Yes." So I actually had a stick, and I was hitting her in the head. Every time he told me something, I hit her very hard in her head, and I was throwing hot water on her. And when I actually took her out of the bathroom, I took her back in her room, and I just kept staring at her, and I said, excuse my language, but I'm like, why the fuck would you do this to him? Just like, I'm constantly asking her. She kept saying, I hate him. And I'm like, you hate him?
Clock it. Ain't no way. Okay, so she said that she's beating this baby girl, this 13-year-old girl, with a stick. She's beating her with whatever she got in her hand. She's throwing hot water on her. She's doing all of this stuff. She's torturing this baby, right? And then she stops. And she says, why the F is you doing this? And the baby girl answers back and says, because I hate him. What? No, she didn't. No, she didn't. You're crazy. You fucking crazy. You batshit crazy. That's the problem. You're the problem. Sitting there looking like how you looking.
And she admitted to me that she hated Gabrielle, she hated Steven, she hated everybody.
Now you.
And I'm asking her why. She says, everybody always think Matthew's so cute. And I'm like, so you fuck your brother, because you get what I'm saying. So it's...
No, we don't get what you're saying. You need to go ahead and hang that up. Go ahead and return to sender, because we don't get what you're saying. Stop asking us if we get what you're saying, because you already knew we wasn't going to get what you're saying when you walked into this courtroom. You came in here and showed your ass. That's what you did. You showed your entire ass.
I meant to. I definitely meant to.
We know.
And I do not feel any remorse for what I did to Stone.
And I hope they don't feel no remorse for what they did to you. Because I sure don't. You better be lucky they didn't have the death penalty. Because a bitch like me would have been trying to find the voting poll, trying to vote your ass gone, trying to get you up out of here. because you sick and people like you sick. And on a serious note, y'all, there's really people out here, especially now more than ever. Like, I don't know what they doing. I don't know why, what's going on. These people is getting high on these drugs that they do not need to be getting high on. I don't care who get mad at me in the comments and say whatever you want to say. You need to put the pipe down. Yeah, I smoke weed. I smoke weed. I don't need to go into depth about that. But y'all, there's people out here who have children and who are doing these drugs, meth, PCP, all these other drugs, especially what's bad now, fentanyl. They are willingly doing fentanyl, like willingly. Ain't nobody slipping this stuff to them. They not accidentally getting this stuff. They are going out to buy this fentanyl and getting high off this shit. I'm talking about breaking that shit down, putting it in their weed and getting high, and they got kids. I'm talking about everybody that I am imagining right now as I'm saying this. They got kids. So, with that being said, these people are not on the same, they're not where we are, bro. They are gone. They far gone. So them kids, they don't have a parent, especially if the only parent they have in the house is doing that. So what you think that person getting high with all them kids? Them kids don't get on their nerves. Them kids is in the way of them getting high and enjoying their high. They not thinking about them being their children. They not. See what this lady did? She didn't unalive 2 of them and severely abused the younger one, and it's still, you've been in jail all this time. You're in a women's prison, so I know you don't have access to them drugs that you was doing, and you still messed up. You fried. Still, there's no rehabilitating that. So y'all can go check on them kids. Y'all got family members and y'all know they mess up on them drugs. Go check on them kids. Help them kids. You got room, bring them in. You don't got room, bring them in. Make room. Because they need you.
Because she had no remorse for what she did to my son. And it's not only raped him, she gang raped him with Steven. Matthew, we're all sitting on the floor, and he was telling me, this is how I found out about both of them doing it together. But it was too late. Steven was gone. But Matthew told me that Stoney would actually make him sit there while, in his words, him and...
My bad, y'all. I had to step away real quick, but let's get right back into the video. I ran it back just a little bit.
Yes, I put a bag over her head, but it got worse that day. Yes, I did. It got worse that day because Matthew would tell me how she would take her pad, her menstrual pad, and squeeze her blood out in his mouth. Okay? And it was over with after that. It was over with.
You meant to kill her?
I definitely meant to kill her.
Okay. It wasn't an accident?
No, not at all. If I had a chance to do it again, I would.
When you went and got the grocery bag and suffocated her, that was your intent?
Yes. She was standing in the bathtub. I was throwing hot water on her. My son was standing to my right outside the bathroom door, and he was telling me everything he was telling me. I looked at her, and I'm like, you did this? I did to my son. And it's not only raped him, she gang raped him with Steven. Matthew, we're all sitting on the floor, and he was telling me, this is how I found out about both of them doing it together. But it was too late. Steven was gone. But Matthew told me that Stoney would actually make him sit there while, in his words, her and Stoney did the nasty stuff, and then they did it to him. And
so this was your way of inflicting punishment?
Definitely.
Okay. Okay. Where did that...
I mean, just imagine what could be going through. That's why I blame it on drugs, because I can't think of nothing else. And if we're going to talk about demon possession, it starts there. Let's just be real. Like, you just walked in your house one day and decided you wanted to beat the living crap out your kid. And then you beat them so long. We're not talking about just beat them that day. I mean, the natural parent, especially if you discipline your kids. Come on now. I'm a disciplinary parent. Especially if you discipline your kids. Even the slightest yell at your kids. Especially when you're frustrated and you yell at your kids because they're doing too much. Immediately after, you feel bad. I feel bad. Man, I'm really soft. They don't even know that. I be going off on them, then I come right back around the corner like, I love you, but you need to chill out. Type shit, you know? So just imagine like what was going through your mind when you walked through the door of your house, that was through the threshold of your house that day, and you just decided what went off on your brain to make you just want to just unalive these children. The first time that I heard this story with my husband, I was like, she don't like they daddies. I really assumed that the first two older ones had the same daddy, but then come to find out none of them have the same daddy. So that clock it really makes even more sense. Especially if you crazy the way you crazy and they don't want to fool with you no more, because that's at an all-time high right now. These women out here crazy, and these men be trying to take care of their kids, but these women want to be crazy, and it gets in the way and it defeats everything. It defeats the whole relationship of the dad trying to even be in the child's life, because you crazy. And I ain't justifying none of that. I'm just speaking straight facts. Straight facts. These women be nut, be crazy. Be crazy. And these men don't be wanting nothing to do with them. 9 times out of 10, she gonna be mad. She don't want to get rid of them because she got to clock it, collect that check. So she got to keep them. She want to get high. She want that money. Don't we ain't even got to. I'm just saying. And then they end up in situations like this. It's crazy.
That happened.
What?
Where did
The death.
Her actual death?
Yes.
Right.
Not the location of the house. Where did you live at the time?
804 St. Albans Street.
Is that in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Go ahead.
can we ask Ms. Blair if she ever actually saw
Now watch
or
this.
witnessed any of these
Hold
acts
on.
with regard to Stoney or
Okay. Yeah. Where did you ever actually see anything of any sexual abuse of any kind between either Stephen and Stoney and Matthew?
I reject her question, but I will answer it because
Slow. Blew up her whole spot. Blew up her whole spot. You have no brains. Fried. Zero. Nothing there. Because how you going to decline the woman question and then turn your stupid head ass around and answer it? Stand on it. What you mean? What do you mean? You sound stupid. This woman is crazy. She's crazy, for real.
no one will say that this did not happen because it actually did.
I just want to have a
didn't.
clear record. Because so far, all you've told me was that you just heard it. Did you ever
And
actually
that they
see it?
admitted it. No, I did not. You
Okay.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No,
I
but-
understand.
no, we don't get what you're saying. Look, the judge don't know what to do. The judge is like, all right, she's about to admit to everything. We just gonna let her ramble and talk. But we do got to get some actual factual things thrown in there, because she crazy. She about to go all the way around the world with this. We need to stay on track. They need to know, did you see this, Shirley? We need to know, did you actually see these things happening? SOS pad head. We need to know. We need to know. Talk on me.
As I went back in my head and thought back to all the many things that was wrong with Matthew.
Dangerous. As she thought back in her head. We talking about her head, her brain, her mind. Dangerous.
You over the years, and I'm like, that's what was wrong with you? He'll use the bathroom and say, Mom, my butt hurts when I poop. I don't know, Matthew. So I started giving him 100% juice to make his stool softer, maybe to help him use that wasn't the problem. It wasn't his stool. It was that he was being raped.
Okay, and it's always some truth to a lie. It's always some truth to a lie. Y'all got to pay attention. Clock it. Pay attention. This been going on. Something has been happening to her children, and she knows it. Whether she's doing it, whether a man she, let in her house is doing it, I do not think it had nothing to do with them. Kids wasn't doing that. Somebody was doing something to these kids. She talking about he had hard stools, so she was giving him 100% juice. She's going out to the store and buying this instead of taking him to the emergency room like we would all do as parents. Especially if our baby is telling us that while they trying to use the bathroom, they, you running out to the store buying 100% apple juice or whatever juice. You said juice. And force feeding it to this baby because why? You trying to cover something up? That's what it sounds like to me. It's like you're trying to cover something up. And now you just kind of told on yourself a little bit. That's why if they took this plea deal, they shouldn't have even took it. They shouldn't have gave her no plea deal. They should have just hit her. They should have just hit her. And that's what be wrong with the court system. They just be ready to let somebody come in here and tell a crazy, janky ass story, give them some mental health court, give them some drug court, and slap their ass with a little ass sentence, give them what the fuck they asked for. But you didn't give your baby what the fuck they was asking for when that baby was begging you to stop, because that's what I bet that baby was doing. She shouldn't have even had a chance to do all of this. But that's what they do. The court system enjoy this type of shit. They love, especially when black people, especially black women with children, come in here and look crazy, acting crazy. This coming from somebody who done been in the court system, who done been in jail, all of that. I didn't care. I kept my hair done in jail. I kept my eyebrows threaded in jail. I didn't wear makeup, but I made sure my outfit, we got one outfit a week. I made sure my outfit was creased and laid out and clean. What you mean? I made sure I looked good in there. When nobody finna tell me I was in there going through nothing. But that's what they like to see. They enjoy that. I ain't never spent no more than 10 minutes in no courtroom. It's boring to them. It's not what they were expecting. But this, they're going to let you sit in there all day just so they can clock it. And that's irritating.
Okay, my son looked me in my eyes and he gave me a very detailed account of everything they did. Matthew is not a violent boy. He is a very sweet little boy. So for him to stand there and look at me and say, do it again, he was hurting. Okay.
He did not say do it again. You're sick. No child would do that to their sibling. You're sick.
At a certain point, I told him to stop talking. And I said, Stoney, you tell me what the fuck you did to my son. And I said, Matthew, if she's saying anything that's not right, tell me. She started telling me many things. And I also asked her, so why didn't Stephen tell me that when I asked him, did anybody do this to him? Why didn't he tell me that you did it to him? Because Stoney was going upstairs, beating Stephen's ass, threatening him. Basically, at a certain point, after I was hitting Stephen, I didn't want to look at him. I didn't want to look at him, so I told him to go to his room. When it came time to eat, I didn't want to take no food up, so I sent Stoney up because she volunteered, not knowing at that time that Stoney was raping either of them. But every time she went upstairs, I wouldn't have known if she hit him or not because I had put many bruises on him. So every time she went upstairs, she admitted to me that she was hitting him also, knocking the hell out of him, telling him, you better not tell her nothing. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
No, we don't get what you're saying. Stop asking us that. Because you're not making no sense. They sitting up in here entertaining your goofball stuff too. That's irritating. Because no, we don't get what you're saying. You're telling me that your baby has been getting raped by your two older children. You had no clue. You had no clue. No signs. You didn't know. And then the baby finally comes and tells on just one of them first. Then he turn around and tell on the other one? That don't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know who that would make sense to. I'm pretty sure your baby would probably let you know, probably. If that's not something that they are used to. They're going to come tell you something. And they ain't finna just pick and choose who they telling on. They going to tell on the situation, not the person. Come on now.
I understand. When she admitted these things to you, were you always being physical with her?
The judge is crazy. I understand. No, you don't. All you understand is that you just trying to, you just trying to get this little job over with. And it's interesting to you to see a little crazy black lady standing in front of you doing all this crazy stuff. It's interesting to you. You don't understand. You know this shit is crazy. Shit. Stop fucking playing with me. Ain't gonna give her a plea.
The first time, no. We were sitting there.
Okay.
She denied it constantly. I'm like, Stoney, You better tell me the fucking truth. Matthew sitting here, he don't know nothing about it. He constantly, you get what I'm saying?
No.
Who would admit that? Who would admit that if they did not do it?
Somebody who is getting severely beat. And I don't even think this is even happening. I don't even think, at this point, you just done came in here and you sat up in that cell with them jail doctors. With them jail lawyers. That's what you did. Sat up in there with them jail lawyers. Y'all done sat and concocted up this little story. And you just ran with it because you sound stupid. Talking about who would admit that if they didn't do it. Girl, nobody. Nobody. Nah, I bet money on that.
All right, tell me what happened to Stephen.
Basically the same thing. Can I ask you a question first? The people standing behind me, this woman who just asked the question, is she trying to make it seem like this did not happen?
No. We just have to have a clear record.
Okay.
This is your time to talk. Go.
Slow. Irritates me. You're gonna stop the whole. That's how you know you crazy. Cause how is you standing there in a one whole conversation? She asked this question a long time ago, and I'm not about to play with you. And then you're gonna turn around and girl, bye.
At the moment, all we're trying to do is just make sure that the record is okay. And so, don't worry about them behind you. Just do what she asked you.
Why did the lawyer? He knows she crazy too, and that's sad. Look, he trying to calm her down. All they trying to do is just, because he knows she crazy. He done been in a room with her by themselves during the pro visit, and he knows she's crazy. So he don't want one of them situations to come out where she just get the flying off saying crazy. You know what I'm saying? So he had to calm her ass down real quick.
I mean, right now, ma'am, this is just you choosing to plead guilty. The people did not have any sort of plea agreement.
Yeah, because it's like I'm willing to take a polygraph test. It's like because I understand people don't want to hear me. Period.
I didn't know that. I thought they gave her a plea deal. So good. She just coming in here talking for no damn reason. That's why they letting her do it.
But I'm gonna take it on everything.
I'm listening to you. Tell me what happened to Stephen.
I came home one day. My daughter Gabrielle, my oldest, met me at the door, and she's like, "Mom, come see what Maddie doing with his dials." And I'm like, "What is he doing?" He was making one dial, his little wrestle man, hump on top of the other. No, I'm like, "Maddie, why was you doing that?" I said, "Anybody ever do this to you?" He said, "No." I said, "Then why are you doing that?" And he said, "Yes, Stephen did." And I was like, so this is the first I'm hearing about that period. This was 9 months before Stoney. Okay, Stoney wasn't downstairs, and
Dang, y'all, did y'all hear that? Okay, so this is crazy. Okay, so she basically, all this that we just heard her tell us, she had been abusing Stephen 9 months before she even touched Stoney. So this baby been getting abused almost a year before the other one is even thrown into the mix. So what is really going on? Because I'm not buying all this molestation, rape crap. I'm not. Unless there was an accusation and then she just went off of the high end. Because I'm not going to sit here and act like stuff like that don't exist. But at the same time, to a point to you, murdering this baby, unaliving this baby, and then on top of that, these babies. And then on top of that, you did it for so long. I think it was like 3 years actually that she abused and killed, or she killed them, but then they were hidden in her freezer for so long. So this story is real crazy. It's just, she's crazy. She need help.
she was always in the background. I wish to God I had questioned everybody together, but I didn't.
Would you say this was around August 30th, 2012?
No, this was before August 30th. August 30th is when he died.
Okay.
This was maybe a week and a half.
Before he died?
Yes.
Okay. So that, Matthew telling me that set off some action?
Yes, I went upstairs because Stephen was upstairs in his and Matthew's room. And I went upstairs and I said, "Stephen, Matthew said you was humping on him." And then Stephen stood up and he looked at me, and right then I could tell I could tell something was wrong in his face because he was just like this. Any normal kid, I know my kid would have been like, what? That's not what he did. He stood up and looked at me like he done lost his mind, okay? And it just, hearing that from him had me fucked up in my head, period. But I asked him, I said, Stephen, tell me the fucking truth. Was you humping on Matthew? He said, yes, but that was all. And I said, did you hump on him with your underwear off? He said, no. Matthew yelled out, yes, he did. And I just remember going in the hallway, walking back and forth, like, and I walked back up, and I was like, you fucked your brother? You get what I'm saying? You fucked your brother. So I'm looking at them too. I'm looking at them like, what? I can't understand. So I start punching Stephen. You know, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to him?
We gotta understand, this baby is 9 years old. Stephen is 9, I believe. He's younger than the older girl. The oldest girl is 13. So when I first seen this video, this part right here, like it took to this point right here for me to like actually start listening. Like, okay, well, hold on. I mean, not start listening, but actually start like, well, hold on. That sound like that is something that could possibly happen. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, no, you gotta. That's why with habitual liars, you cannot, you cannot like allow them to split up. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you gotta put everything together with habitual liars and make sure everything add up and make sure everything makes sense because they get your ass. How you feeling crazy for real, and how you question it. Your motherfucking self. So you have to like really stand on that. Like people be lying. People be lying for what reason? I don't know. What makes somebody kill their child? Come on now. I just don't. I'm really baffled that she even has the time to speak in court.
I just started asking him questions. Matthew at this point is just spilling out. He's just spilling out. And mom, and he's doing like this, and he do this thing almost every night. He tell me how he was, the reason I put bags over Stephen's head is because if we had Maddie, I thought Maddie peed in the bed. My son was never a bedwetter. Didn't know it was Stephen waking up every morning pissing on Matthew like he was a damn piece of shit, okay?
Okay, right? So that part we just watched, right? What I was just talking about, and then she comes with this story. She says that Stephen is jumping up off his bed because they have bunk beds. He's jumping up off his bed in the middle of the night and peeing on his little brother. What type of mother are you to where you don't notice that? I'm sure he's not peeing just on the part where he's on his lower body. I'm sure that's not where somebody would just be peeing. So if you're claiming that this boy is peeing on his brother, it should be pee everywhere. It should be inappropriate pee, right? It's not normal. It's not gonna be a normal wet the bed pee. It's gonna be some stuff that's not normal. I'm walking. If I come in and I see some pee sprayed all over the place in my kid's room, I'm asking questions because that's a problem. That's a problem that you don't get your ass up and walk down the hallway and go use the bathroom. That's a problem that you feel like you could get up and pee anywhere in my house, even if it's not another person. Anywhere. That's a problem. So that's when I knew immediately, like, yep, right back. Brought me right back to reality. Like, she's crazy.
They had bunk beds. Stephen would get out the bed in the middle of the night. You would rape him in his own bed. You would pee on him instead of going to the bathroom. I'm waking up every morning thinking Matthew's a bedwetter. So we just wash him up and go, you a bedwetter.
Let's talk about what you did to Stephen.
The reason I put bags over Stephen's head is because my son told me that the plastic on his bed, because I thought he was a bedwetter, he said, sometimes, Mom, I couldn't breathe. Stephen was laying on me, and he had my face down, and the plastic on the bed, I couldn't breathe, and he was humping on my butt like a basketball. That's when I got a garbage bag and started putting it over Stephen's head, and I started asking him, bitch, you know what I'm saying? You see what this feel like? You can't breathe? You stop at that's my son. You could not breathe on top of getting raped. You was 6 years old at the time.
But you didn't see him do none of this.
I put a bag over his head. He lost consciousness. I did that a couple times. He told me that Maddie would be face down. He had stuff around his neck. So I grabbed Stephen, I grabbed the belt, and I put a belt around his neck and I
I'm just
lifted
skip
him
a
up.
little bit,
Brother,
y'all.
that's how he made it seem. But that's a lie. He kept Matthew up under his wing on purpose. Matthew never wanted to be around Stephen, and I don't know how I didn't see that. So they would take
You would
his
have saw
food. They
that.
would actually only let him eat his vegetables. So yes, when I fed Stephen, he only got vegetables and like healthy.
You are a liar. If that means, see, you so stuck. She's so stuck in her trance of abuse. She don't even realize she's telling on herself right now that you've been neglecting these kids. The stuff that you feel like is normal is not normal. The fact that you don't feel like you have to put your son's plate down in front of him, even if you don't eat around him, because a lot of families, most families don't sit at a table no more and eat together. Most families are spread out now. But even in the sense of you being a mother, if you making plates, right? You're supposed to be making plates, passing them out. They should be proportioned right to whoever you giving them to. And you should be getting up and clocking whether your kids is eating their food or not. I want to see what's on your plate. Let me see what you ate. That's right there. She don't even realize she's been in that trance of neglect and abuse for so long. She think her neglect and abuse is normal. How is your two older kids taking food from your younger child? No. That means you're neglecting them. That means you've been neglecting them. And to me, I feel like it's somebody else involved that just ain't,
Things, and it was minimal, like oatmeal and things like that. He did not get meat. You stole from my son. And actually, when I tried to feed him, my son Matthew said, "Mom, that's bold. They used to take my food all the time. That's bold." You get what I'm saying? So yes. Now Stony, I did starve her. I did. 9 more months you going, your big ass. She was 13. My son told me how she used to sit on his face, and he said, "Mom, it stinks real bad." And she was, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Yes, I did. I did. And then oatmeal is all that girl got. And she's lucky she got that once a day.
Stoney only got oatmeal? Is that what you're saying?
Oatmeal once a day. She's very lucky she got that. And I even have to hide the fact that I was giving her.
They should give your raggedy ass oatmeal and oatmeal only. They shouldn't even give you that because, bitch, they need to give you them motherfucking, them broth plates, bitch. Them plates that come with just the cups of broth and maybe a cup of jello. Bitch. That's what they need to give your ass once a motherfucking day. Shit. The fuck you mean you gave her some oatmeal once a day? You did starve her. Sick.
Oatmeal for Matthew because he didn't want me to feed her, and he had every right to feel that way.
Hold on, just Blair, can we get...
She talking about Matthew like Matthew a little demon. That's what I'm saying. Like, ain't no way. Ain't no way no little baby finna tell you, Mama, hey, that's bull. Don't feed them. They stole my food. What? Come on now. You're sick. Sound like you was listening to a spirit.
No, I'm good.
You're okay? Okay. I just have a few more questions. When you were physically harming Stephen, was it ever your intent to also cause any sort of serious mental harm?
Well, I don't understand what you mean.
When you were hurting him physically, was it also your intent to cause any sort of serious mental harm?
What do you mean, mentally damage him?
Yes.
Like beating him in the head?
No, like making it so that his thoughts aren't right.
No,
Does that
never.
make sense? Okay.
Physical punishment on what you did to my child, because I had always told my kids the worst thing you can ever do to somebody is break them. I always told my son that, and I always told the girls.
How? Who? When? Why? Where? What? She always, and I'm laughing because she's delusional. It's too many people out here like that. At first, it used to like blow my mind, especially where I'm from, Wichita, Kansas. Especially where I'm from, it used to blow my mind to see people who are really like messed up right here. She's talking about she told her kids, she's always told her kids who are 13 and younger, the worst thing they can do to somebody is rape them. Now let's go back to what I said at the beginning of this video. I said, or did I say it? Let me say it if I didn't say it. She went through some trauma. She done had some trauma. And I'm not laughing at her on this part because it's not funny. But she done had some trauma in her life to where it seems to me like she's displaying in this courtroom everything that she done been through as a child. Because what do you mean you told your kids the worst thing you could ever do to somebody is to sexually assault them? How? Why would you do that? Come on now.
The worst thing you could do is cry rape on somebody if they didn't rape you. They fully knew what they were doing.
So you were only intending physical punishment?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now, just so that I'm clear, you weren't allowing them to treat your other children like this, were you?
What do you mean?
You weren't allowing them to sexually assault.
This judge is killing me. Anyways, y'all, we're going to end the video like that. Thank you for tapping in with me and chilling with me and vibing with me through this video. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, this is my first video, my first reaction video. So if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. I don't care. You know, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share the video, whatever you feel the need to do. But before we leave, I just want to stress these babies. We have babies out here, bro, who are being not loved. They're not. Like, they're not being loved on. And, you know, we have to understand that it's the flesh and not, it's the spirit and not the flesh. So a lot of times the answer is to pray for these people. But at the same time, in the midst of you praying, go get them kids. Go get your kids. Go get those babies. Go get your nieces. Go get your nephews. If you got to hold on to them for 6 to 7 months, 6 to 12 months until your loved one get themselves together, or forever, whatever it is that you got to do, go help them kids out, because right now it is at an all-time high. These people are out here getting high on fentanyl, meth, PCP, whatever they can get their hands on. Like, that's what they own. And once they start getting into that, it's like they don't care about life no more. How they gonna care about their own kids? So if you know somebody like that, you know some babies out here that need you, go get them. Peace and love and happiness to you all. Thank you once again, and have a good rest of your day.